be fair, so.
Yo. Welcome back, man. This is who you talking to. I am OleHead Rell here with my illustrious co-host, OleHead Senior. I ain't gonna glizzy gobbler you to death this time.
Really,
It's Father's
you
Day.
ain't gonna get
Yeah, it's Father's Day, so I'm well, it's not Father's Day. That's tomorrow, but I'm gonna give you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna like kill you too much. How you feeling,
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Things working out, you know.
man?
It's been pretty stressful last couple of months, but everything, panned out.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah.
was rough though. It was
Yeah,
rough. The
those
back
type
and
of
forth.
situations always. You know what I mean, anytime you have something that's like a long, you know what I mean, something
Hmm.
that takes a long time to kind of come into fruition, it is easy to kind of get in your head. Um, I guess, man, we actually had some people send in some stuff. We actually asked that y'all send in some memes so we can react to them. We're gonna start there just to make sure I don't forget to go into it before we get too deep into our conversation. We're gonna start with Lisa, or is it Lisa? Yeah, Lisa sent in some a couple of memes for us to react to. So we're gonna go ahead and start there before we get into immigration and fatherhood. And I think that'll be a fun conversation. But we're gonna see what they was wanting us to react to first. So let's lock in and see. Here we go. Let me make sure they can see it first. We're gonna go and let's go here with it. Okay. Bum.
Here's how you can tell the difference between a man who is healthy and a man that's toxic.
Hmm.
The man that's healthy is looking to be of service. The man that's toxic is looking to be served.
Hmm.
So, if I am a man that's only looking to be served, I'm not going to see you. Because I'm only going to see you through the lens of how you service me. If I'm looking to serve and be of service, then I'm going to see you. What's your need? What's your thoughts? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Well, why do you think that? Why do you feel that? Oh, wow, you put some lashes on today. Oh, okay. You got some extensions in. Like, because I'm looking to be of service. So I'm actually evaluating what's in front of me and identifying how I can make a benefit or make a contribution versus looking at it from like, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of her? What am I going to get out of this? So being seen is essential. And I think it's something that, if I could add anything to the modern dating landscape, it would be this: sight. See people as they are, not as how you'd like them to be. Here's how you can tell the difference between a man.
What did you think?
All right. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's how you can tell. That's how a woman can tell if the man is really in it to, to make something or to have something with her. You know what I'm saying? Because but if he in there to get what he can get out of the situation, he wanna go to Pound Town and you know what I mean, and just basically just it's just sex for him. Then he want to be served.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if a man is there to serve, then he cares about you in a way that you will know that he's there for you because he care about what you think, what you're going through. He want to know, like the man said, he want to know, what your plans is and whatnot. And if he has a little knowledge or whatever, when those conversations come up, he explains to you what he's learned as far as leveling up and getting to a certain point, and how things don't come overnight. You have to, what I'm saying, you have to wait. You know what I mean? It's just like with credit. It's the same way. You can't fix your credit overnight. It takes time
For sure.
to build it. And so, in a relationship, if you care about a woman, then you're gonna take time and nourish the relationship and try to lead the relationship in the direction that you feel like it should go in. And if she's a receptive woman, then she cares enough about you to allow, because people don't like that word allow. Man, take. No, no. It's a choice. A relationship is a choice between two people.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if she value you, then she would allow you to lead her. If she don't have no value for you, then she's not going to allow you to lead her.
Well, I got a question. So like in general, just based off of what he was saying, he said that like there's going to be pretty much there's two different types of men. One is going to be trying to figure out how he can be an asset to what you got going on. He's going to pay attention to what you got going on. The other one is only looking at you to benefit his world.
Yeah.
My thing is that like it was a real, you know what I mean? It sounded, I don't really know too many niggas that be really like trying to figure out it, like, so that sounds like some maybe narcissistic behavior to, if you're going to get into a relationship, to only think about what your benefit is going to be, what she can do for you. As a man, I don't know any men that's like going into situations that way.
That's Tyrone, bro. Tyrone going to every relationship with what he can get out of the relationship. He don't come into a relationship to help build you up, help make you better. He don't do that, because if he trying to make you be better, make you do better, make you be better, and lead you in the right direction, that means he has plans for y'all. If
Right.
everything work out, he planning something for y'all,
Right.
not just for him. Tyrone coming there, it's what can you do for me?
Yeah, see, you man, I don't know, cause like I understand what you're saying, but like to me, it's like one of the extremes. You know what I mean? To a guy that would be even okay. So I know dudes that had to move in and all that stuff. We can quote unquote call them Tyrone, right? But at the same time, a lot of those guys are also still they're also they're also putting into the relationship to where it's not like a thing where he's what you can do for me. That shit doesn't even, that's not even reality. Like in most scenarios, men end up doing and contributing because we just naturally would have to.
Tyrone don't contribute shit, bro.
You
I
don't
know
think so?
people. He don't contribute shit. Tyrone is there to get what he can get. Period. I know people that's living in that scenario, bro. I'm telling you,
Now I'm not
Tyrone.
saying it don't exist. It's just crazy to think that like you would
It's
go
the
into.
bruh. It is rampant out there. These
Yes, sir.
YNs, yes sir, it's rampant out there. They trying to get what they can get. They only calling
You
you.
just started that YH. That's a new one.
Yeah,
You just started. I don't know what made you
yeah,
start saying that, but
yeah.
that's your
That's
new shit
because
now.
hey, I mean, I can use it. I'm an old head,
Mm.
so you definitely
I
a
mean,
YN to me. You know, so but the thing of it is that's what they want. They in it for them. They in there to get off,
mm.
and they in there. They want to spend your money. They don't give a damn if your kids eat or whatever. They need shoes. They need haircuts. They need gas in their car. They want you to co-sign or get the car in your name.
Mm.
Then when they late on the payments or they don't want to make the payments or whatever, then they give you the car and then let you catch the shit up. And it's in your name. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let you catch it up. Then they come back and snatch the shit. That's what Tyrone does, bro. That's
Yeah.
what he do. You just disconnected from that part.
Yeah, I just
Because
don't like. I'm not around and like seeing
exactly.
this thing, so I'm not like I said. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that it doesn't exist.
It's
What I'm just
rampant.
saying is that like
It's rampant.
for the okay,
I'm
I'll concede. I'll concede. I wouldn't say
I
that
wish
you're
we had
wrong.
a lot of women. I wish we had a lot of young women anywhere from 25 to 35, 40,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll tell you. I wish we had that type of viewership. If we did, they'll tell you. Them niggas out there, they out there for them. It's what you can do for me. And women think that they have to do this stuff just to keep a man. They're trying to bring his money and put it with yours and help you do this and help you do that. But they don't give
Yeah.
you nothing for your birthday.
I don't even know these type niggas.
I
Like
know.
the
That's
crazy
what I'm
thing, you
saying.
said a lot. I don't really see that. You know what I mean? Even the guys that I know that like that.
Yeah, but your dudes ain't them type dudes though.
Yeah.
You know, usually people, they say birds of a feather flock together. You wouldn't even deal with that dude. You wouldn't
No.
deal with him. So that's why you ain't around. That's why you don't know his
Oh
homeboys.
shit!
You don't
Now
know his
I do
friends.
kind of see. I do
You
kind
see
of
what I'm
see. Like
saying?
if I think
So
a little
your
bit further,
boys,
yeah. And that's the thing that like certain people they would naturally kind of tailor themselves out of
exactly.
your space. Well, people be talking about, oh, you I'm cutting off people and all that.
They cut
People
themselves
that
off.
people that are actually on a different like in a different lane, they'll naturally just decide to just shift out of, you know what I mean? Shift out of your life just because it just doesn't the mold doesn't fit.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
so they'll
right.
naturally just cut
And then I'm
themselves
gonna
off.
tell you another thing that helps them do that. They credit be fucked up. They
lot of our
usually
credit
ain't got no good job. If they can get a job, they usually got a criminal record. None of your boys got no criminal records.
I ain't
All
gonna
of
say that.
well, okay, they've moved above it.
Yeah.
They've moved above it. I ain't saying people ain't made mistakes when they was younger, but they've moved above it. Let's put it that way. Because you know, circumstance. I mean, you was almost in one of them.
Was about to,
you hear me?
Definitely.
You was yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean that when I say they don't have criminal records, I mean that they've moved to a point where they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
They don't have to deal with that.
That should take a lot of work.
You see what I'm saying? And it takes up that's right.
Take a lot of
Tyrone ain't gonna do that. He need help. Don't know. He gonna hit you with the, I ain't had nobody, nobody never done nothing for me. And then the woman always, especially when it's a good woman, or just a woman that really fuck with you, she want to prove to you that she not like the rest of them. She gonna stand by you and she gonna support you. And then she end up giving you her money. She let you fuck up her credit. She let you use her name. You know what I'm saying? I know it's bad decision making, bruh. But when women, if a woman really love you, she'll go to the end for you. She really will. She'll go to the end for you and be seeing the goddamn cliff.
So I got a question for you. Now that you saying that, do you think love is a choice?
Do I think love it? Yeah. Yeah, it's a choice.
Like you choose to fall in love with who you fall in love with. So like to me, I think that like the consequences of said decision are things that you brought upon yourself. Just it's like I think that oftentimes we talk about red flags and all this stuff, but like most people, we all just ignore red flags. We all
that makes it a choice.
Yeah, it makes it a choice.
It makes it a choice. So you just answered your own question.
No, I wanted to see what you thought.
Exactly. I think the same thing you think.
Yeah, I think
it's about your decision. But you fall in love with him. He done gave you all these sob stories. He's crying to you, telling you yada yada yada, nobody, and and then then when you start meeting his people, like people that's close to him, like his family, whatever, and then and you know how women is, they talk. They tell you this person fucked up. They tell you they fucked up. They tell you about the wrong shit they did and the kind of person they is. That's just women. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, you see it on both sides too. I think they're like, we both. Yeah, I won't debate. Let's look at the next one. Let's see what else she sent in for us to kind of look at. We'll go with this one here.
Money to pay the light bills. I am struggling, y'all. I'm a single mother doing this all by myself, providing for y'all and taking care of y'all, and I need help. I asked you for the birthday money and you said no. So that's why I'm taking the PS5 back so I can get a refund so I can have the money to pay the light bill.
How you just gonna take my PS5 that I asked for on Christmas? You literally spent $500 on it, now you trying to take it back.
Okay, and that $500 I can use to pay the bills. I wouldn't come to you and ask you if I didn't need your help, but I need your help. And you can't play the game anyway if we don't have no lights.
And you can't have my birthday money either, because people cashed out that to me.
Okay, but we need lights.
Why you going out so much? I'm tired of you going out. You need to spend time with us, and you need to spend money on your bills.
Leilani, I'm not even talking to you. So you stay in a child's place.
Now you said stay in a child's place, but you asking my brother to pay your bills. And just like Lay said, you need to start spending money on us and stop going spending money on yourself and your.
Now, the first thing I noticed was this young lady got her nails nicely done, and she got a bunch of jewelry. Now, growing up, I'm sorry, Mom, I don't mean to put our business out there, but when my mom ain't had stuff, she pawned her own stuff. She never took anything from us, whether she gave it to us or it came as a gift from some kind of special occasion. When you're an adult, you can't do away with your child's stuff. You can't take their joy away just because you have to adult. Adulting is hard, and I know times are hard, but I would start by, not doing those nails, maybe pawning your jewelry, and I'm sure there will be people aside with her. But also, I've never been a fan of kids talking back to their parents.
No.
But in this case, we're going to have to let it slide because that little girl's kicking nothing but the truth. As adults, we do have to make sacrifices, but that should never come at the expense of our child's happiness. Respectfully, of course. No.
Money to pay the light bills. I am struggling.
Okay. What you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, like he said, you can tell from them kids being able to talk to her, feeling free enough to talk to her in the manner that they're talking to her, which she need to be talked to that way. But at the same time, I think that that's a little too much freedom for my child. You know what I'm saying? To talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna move the way she moved anyway. So therefore they wouldn't have a reason to, but forget about the children and go to her. You can't take your baby's stuff from them because you can't pay your light bill. They say she going out to the clubs and stuff all the time. And like bro said, she got her nails done. She got jewelry on. I bet you her hair was done. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to take from the kids. Maybe you need to go to work goddamn with your shit straight comb back or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stop going to the beautician.
You know something that I was thinking about? Like women are doing all this, like spending, that hair care shit is very, very expensive. I've been hearing $400, $500, $600, $700 on hair and shit. My thing is like what that you, and I was just thinking this, bro. The motherfucking just the ponytail with the natural puff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fro puff joint.
Yeah.
That shit is super dope to me. The simple joint, just slick back ponytail with the goddamn up on the natural puffy, that puff joint.
You know what the problem is with that? Women don't dress and they don't do their hair for men. They do it for other women. Because other women talk shit about other women that don't do it and say they ain't got the money and they can't afford it and that's why they don't do it. But see, what they don't realize is that that's why she can't pay her fucking light bill. That's why your kids talking the way they talking. Because you not spending your money in your house, you spending your money on you. And then now you want somebody else, whoever she was talking to on the phone, you want somebody else to pay the bill, or else you're gonna take the child's toy to pay your light bill.
One thing I will add is that like we do too much living above our means.
Yes, sir.
You know how much a PS5 costs?
About $700.
No, I think it was like $5.
I bought when I bought mine. There was a run on them. When I bought it for my son, that even wasn't mine. When I bought it for my son, I had to pay like $7 for it.
Okay, but see, the thing is that, like, in my opinion, we allow you can't allow your kid to set your standard of living. But it sound like it honestly sound like she didn't really pay for it. Maybe that she was saying that people was cash. He was saying people cash apping money and
he said you can't have my money either.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He didn't say nothing about the PS5. He said people cash app that money to him. You can't take his money and pay your bills with it.
Yeah, what I will say is that, like, if at the end of the day, if when I was younger and we were struggling, if my mom, which it never happened, but if she did, we would have just had to do without it. It wouldn't even have been no debate. First off, you ain't debating shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't no debate to even tell your mama a damn thing.
Yeah.
She ain't even gonna have a conversation with you about the motherfucker. That shit just gone.
Yeah. But see, that's the difference between I'm gonna say different between dudes. Your mama wouldn't have did it. She would have just called me. She would have just called me, and I'm pretty sure she called me a few of those times. You just don't know about it.
That's possible.
She called me a few of those times, and I always was there. And she told you herself. She never called me, and I didn't come. I always, but see, I mean, I ain't saying I'm better than nobody, but in that aspect, I'm a little different. That's what I'm gonna say. And when she called me, I don't care if she had somebody staying with her, she had a dude, whatever the case may be. I ain't say nothing about bruh. She say, we ain't gonna have no lights or the kids, we ain't got no food in here, whatever. Knowing that if it's a nigga there, he gonna eat if she cook.
Yeah.
I don't worry about that part. All I worried about was that she said y'all needed something to eat, and I made sure she had the money to get it, or if she told me to bring.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you think about this? Okay, so if let's say that like, and this is just a different scenario. Let's say that okay, so she has a man over here and they're together, and then but you're actually coming and getting the kids, you know what I mean, and you're actually spending time and you're doing, let's say that 50-50, you're actually living a 50-50 joint where you're coming and getting your kids, they staying with you and da, you make sure that they're good, you know what I mean. Would you still think, do you still think that a man should do his half and also supply for the other home as well?
No. No, see, and that's why I was always there like that, is because I wasn't the type of father that came and picked y'all up regularly and did all this here. So that was my way of, you know what I'm saying,
Contributing.
contributing to, y'all's, well being.
Mm.
And so if I was doing all that, then she probably wouldn't have had to call me so much, because I would have been in and out picking y'all up. You know what I'm saying? And I would have moved a little different. I ain't saying that y'all would have went home with nothing to eat, but it would have been kid food. So he'd have been eating raviolis and shit. You know what I mean?
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, chicken nuggets and shit. That's what he would have been eating if he was eating anything. And that's what she would have been eating, because that's what I would have been buying for y'all, because I would have made, you see what I'm saying? I would have been buying for kids. I wouldn't have been buying steaks and goddamn, pork chops and shit. I wouldn't have been buying all that. Yeah. So, that's the only difference, but like I said, I wasn't there. So when she said she needed money for this or that or whatever, she could call me. Just like, if she felt like that, I need to touch one of y'all, she called me for that too.
Yeah.
So hey.
Yeah, I know what the mass whoopers was like. I definitely remember them Jones. That gentle parenting OleHead. That's where you fucked up.
Yeah,
gentle
that's
parenting.
The part I didn't get. I didn't get that.
I don't believe in that shit either.
I didn't get that part.
Hey, shouts to Mama Sharon. She sent us some too, and I meant to get to them last week, but I didn't. So like, we just gonna push play on one of these Jones and see what she talking about.
Okay.
We still gonna get into the immigration.
Hey, Mama Sharon.
She actually spoke to in the chat. She said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, what up, Mom Dukes? Hey. That's old school player pimping. I don't know what I'm talking about. Her son is 100%. Her son is 100% correct. She is wrong, and no, she is. Yeah, nah, he.
Yeah,
it's tough. My thing is that my youngin ain't going. Well, I couldn't even picture myself being in that scenario to like be able to know how.
But the thing of it is. See, that just tell you that that was a lack of attendance on her behalf in those kids' life for them to be at a point where they feel like that they can speak to her that way. Mm. See, the way she's
just that friend them, shit that a lot of people are doing now. That friend
the way she's raising them, they feel like they can talk to her any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that they feel like they can cuss her out.
Yeah, but it's close enough. Goddamn, yeah,
but it's too grown for their age listening to their voices. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then Unc say, she the same type of mom they used to put bills in children's name, and when the child become an adult, they already have messed up the credit by the time they're 18 years old.
Yeah,
facts. That's also something that I've seen that as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Yeah. I can't say I ain't never did it personally, but I can't say it wasn't a thing when I was coming.
No, it absolutely was.
You know what I mean? But I ain't never did it. I ain't never put nothing in there one of y'all names.
I ain't never did information. Okay. Mama Sharon said those children were able to talk to her like that or talk to her that way was because she treated them like they were our equal. Yeah, no, I'd agree. That's what we were talking about just now. Facts. Yeah. Ain't no reason that no youngin should be talking.
Exactly.
You know what I believe that your children should have a voice, but there's also a level in which there should be a level of respect to where certain things ain't gonna fly.
Oh yeah.
Certain things ain't gonna fly. Yeah. There's no reason that you would sit there and have really a debate with your child about anything like that. Ain't no way.
No.
Ain't no way.
No, you picture that.
Man, I ain't going. No, I actually do let Nana. I let her speak her mind.
And that may be true, but I was talking about on our time. Doing that. that wouldn't have went over well at all.
No, I could believe it.
That
Y'all,
wouldn't have went
that
over
was the
well at
extension
all.
cord days.
Hey.
They got them put a welt on the back of your motherfucking
Yeah,
neck.
every time you
tough.
think about it again, just look at your leg. Look at your leg. You see that scar there? You know, it's healed up now, but look at that scar. It reminds you what you get. Yes, sir.
All right, let's see.
I had plenty of them. They, you know, woo woo. Let some water touch that. Woo,
oh, that water, yeah.
Oh, get in
It'll
the shower
do it.
after you done got your ass beat. Woo!
Yeah.
Shoot, you ain't, hey, no hot water. You want all cold water. Woo, woo. Yes, sir.
Feel like you have a flashback. That motherfucker just gave you chills.
I'm telling you, my mama had a 50-foot phone cord. She take that sucker, and when she get through with that sun gun, look like a rope in her hand. She just wrap that sucker around her fist, and every time she swing it, look like it just do like a fan. You could see it coming. It just went like this, from here to here, one leg.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what Mama Sharon had in there for us. Let's see.
America is dealing with what it's dealing with, and why LA is where it is because the Democrats chose to put a woman candidate up against this guy again. And it fucked with me because I'm like, wait a minute. They didn't just choose women candidates. They chose two very qualified candidates who happen to be women. Both Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris were ridiculously more qualified than this clown. Because remember, before he got this job twice, he was a game show host. It's weird people keep forgetting that. He was a game show host, 6 bankruptcies, failed businessman, draft dodger with 0 government experience. 0. And y'all still chose the unexperienced idiot buffoon over the qualified Hillary Clinton. Now, once that buffoon got in, messed up the country, lost jobs, lost lives to COVID, raised taxes, did all of that damage, caused the thing that happened on J6, all the convictions, y'all still chose the buffoon idiot over the even more qualified Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris was more qualified than Hillary Clinton, and y'all still chose the idiot. That's not a Kamala Harris problem, and it wasn't a Hillary Clinton problem. It's a misogyny problem, an American problem, a you problem. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because if you're saying, as men, there's so many different dynamics, but I want to make sure I say this to the men, because this is why I realized why it was messing with me. Well, even women, now that I think about it. If you're saying that the qualifications don't matter, just the gender, that's a deeper message. That ain't got nothing to do with politics. That has to do with character. And it also sends a message to every woman. It sends a message to your mom. It sends a message to your wife, your sister, and your daughters. You're telling them that no matter how hard they work, they will never be better than even the worst dude. No matter how qualified they are, they will never be better than the worst male idiot. How do you get your daughter to study in school? How do you get your wife to feel motivated to get that job, that promotion that she earned? How do you make your mom feel when you tell her that, yeah, you raised me as a man, but you shouldn't be leading anything else? Because that's what you're saying. So I'm bringing this up to say this. I don't know if we'll get another chance to go choose who leads us, but if we do, and if your only criteria is what gender they are, we're going to have bigger problems. So today somebody said the reason why
he dropped some nuggets on that.
You think so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because from the perspective that he came from, it really makes a lot of sense to why he feel the way he feel. Because basically, both of them, you could have cut them in half and they still were more qualified than Trump was.
And you saying qualified?
Because, like he said, 6 bankruptcies. The only thing he supposedly, quote unquote, ever been good at is a businessman. But he done bankrupted 6 companies. He support the rich with them tax cuts and all that in his first election. Okay, so maybe, people got lost on the Hillary, but the stuff that Hillary did, with them emails or whatever, do you think that you could name? I could name probably 5 things minimum, and I don't really keep up with it like that. I just know pretty much the stuff that we talk about that he fucked up worse than some damn emails. So she lost the race on some emails is outlandish. She lost the race because she was a woman.
I won't debate that. Well, what we know from statistics, it pretty much states for number one, women outvote men, and pretty much white women decide elections. So white women decided that they didn't want a woman. Yeah,
that's right.
Right, and so what I'd say is I don't really talk about the Hillary thing. I probably talk more about the Kamala thing. I think that they did a shit job. I think they did a shit job. Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the fucking DNC, all of the extra shit. See, what to me, what I saw showed a lot about what they think about us. Fuck the ass shaker. What's the policies that you try? I want you to win me over with policy. That's how you gonna get my vote. That's why the fuck you ain't get it.
No.
I'm talking about my vote.
Oh, your vote.
I'm talking about my vote. I just sat out. I ain't vote for Trump, but I did a protest. I protest. I didn't fucking I wasn't first off, and then this kind of gets us right into the conversation. So I appreciate Mama Sharon for putting that in there because it kind of gets us to do you think that men are leaving the left and moving to the right? But I'll finish my thought before we get there. I think that they did a real shit job. Yeah, first off, the fact that they declared Biden you know what I mean, not healthy enough to fucking do it. That was last minute, so it was a last minute job, which there's no way they didn't know that shit before. Y'all fucked her there. To start in the beginning, y'all fucked her there.
Yeah. She should have been running that race a long time ago.
Long time ago. This shit didn't he didn't just wake up and then motherfucker was like, oh, he shouldn't be. No, motherfucker seen that already. They seen it already.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So they started, they set her up to lose. They set her up to lose. And then that whole black thing that she was running with, that shit didn't help either.
Yeah.
That shit didn't help.
If white women decide the election and they wouldn't let a white woman win, what made you think they was gonna put a nigga up there? Because that's what she was coming out. I understand that.
Okay, yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's right. But she was doing it for the race. She was playing that card. She was playing the black card for the race. She
damn sure played. She was trying to play
because she was not playing that card before. Everybody know it. So she was playing it for the race. White women was not gonna vote for no black woman. If they the one, and statistically it's true, white women chooses the president.
Pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? More of them vote than anybody else. Okay. They was not, if they wasn't gonna put a white woman up there, they damn sure wasn't gonna put a black woman up there.
No, I'd agree.
So therefore the Democrats fucked themselves again.
Yeah.
And as far as that moving to the right thing, I think if we get a great independent running, the next time he got a better chance than any other person that ran in that position. If they put a good candidate up there,
I doubt he'd win just because of the way the system is made. I doubt he'd win, but he or she, I think that this is the best chance.
Exactly.
Because when who we don't know who's going to run on either side.
That's right.
There ain't nobody, you know what I mean?
But don't nobody, but everybody done lost faith in the Democrats.
Yeah, and I think they did it to themselves.
But at the same time, Trump giving all this shit to rich folks, these tax cuts and all of this stuff, and then now I'm gonna tell you, the Republicans can win again if this tariff shit works. If it works,
I don't necessarily
I think that they can win again if it works.
The thing is that Trump is an anomaly. So like Trump is not even like Republican. Like this, he's a completely different thing. That's why you can see old MAGA and new MAGA, they bump heads. It's because he's completely different than you know what I mean? It's just completely different. This nigga just, yeah, he you know what I mean? You can't get another one. It's not that's not gonna happen. So let's say that the tariffs and shit did work, and you know what I mean, and all that, which I we ain't gonna go into. We could talk about tariffs on another joint, but we won't have another Trump. So regardless of what whoever they choose to use, it won't be comparable. So
I'm with Bud. I'm with bro on another point. Another point. He said, if we get to choose another president,
y'all niggas be going.
I'm with him. I am not 100% convinced that he's not going to try to cut out a way that he can run again.
Yeah, I know you were saying that.
Yeah,
I'm not really 100%. I ain't saying it's impossible, but I don't really see it.
That's why that's why I brought it up. I'm not 100% convinced that he got this. I tell you what, the only thing that'll stop him is midterms. We got to take the Senate and the House back from the Republicans.
Who is we?
The people. We as the people. We got to take that back from the Republicans, because if he got the Senate, the House, and the goddamn Supreme Court, everything's up for grabs. Everything is up for grabs because they can change the law.
Well, I mean, it's not a law. It's not a law.
It's the norm.
Right.
They can, but see, it may not be a law, but it's the norm, and it's a norm that people really believe in wholeheartedly. So therefore, if then
you say you got control of the Supreme Court,
if somebody takes,
but if he and so you were saying all this stuff earlier on, and I didn't really go with it. If he had so much control over the Supreme Court, then he would be actually able to do more of the shit that he's trying to do.
See, listen, bro. See, listen.
They keep on holding everything the fuck up.
But listen though.
As a matter of fact,
can I say something?
Even hold on, real quick. Even the joint when he had the National Guard go down there in California, they just struck that shit down, so they got to send them motherfuckers back. Go ahead.
I say something?
Finish.
Okay. If you let Trump win all of these other little battles, then when you side with him on the big thing, it'll tear this country apart. So the Supreme Court got to show a good faith, because when it comes, see, these are little battles. These are small battles. That him running again, that's the goddamn gone.
Yeah, it would change a lot. It would change a lot.
That's all they want. That's all they want. Now that's just me.
I mean, I know that they said it like in wartime, president can stay during wartime.
Yeah.
And I know we looking at this.
And look at all these wars just breaking out.
Yeah.
But see, it don't count if the war is between two other countries. We have to be at war.
Right. All that means is that you just decide to join.
Exactly.
And then I understand your point.
Yes,
I understand.
Exactly.
But I'm just not like I think that a lot of time what motherfuckers that be believing in all this shit, they don't never double back and be like, oh yeah, I was wrong about that. They just push the goalposts goddamn a little further back. Goddamn, maybe not now, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Just wait. You'll see. Yeah. It's like, nigga, you just told me it was gonna be this time. But they so I mean,
but this is still coming. It's still coming. But like I say, it doesn't matter who wins the little battles. What matters is who wins the war. You see what I'm saying? So these little battles, you
think that the United States could become a dictatorship?
Do I think it can?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I mean, of course, anything's possible.
Okay.
But I'm saying, what do you think the chances are? What do you think the chances are?
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. If he run again and win, all bets on it.
That he will never leave until he die, and then he'll appoint the next.
I don't know if he'll get to appoint nobody else. I don't know about that. That's going a little far. But
I mean, for the dictatorship, that would be that he would. That's kind of how that runs.
I understand that, but at the same time, and they would have to pass a law saying that he could do that, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
They would have to pass a law saying he could do that. See, all of this stuff has to have a law
So and then to go back to it, do you think that the question, do you think that black men are becoming more Republican, or that they're shifting over onto the Republican side?
I don't think they become that. I thought I answered that.
I
I don't
think you
think they
did, but in
becoming. I
short,
don't think they becoming Republicans.
what do you think they're doing?
I think that they're more in the middle.
Mm.
I think they sick of the fucking Republicans and the fucking Democrats. That's why I say that in the independent, right in the next,
Okay, I see, yeah.
if I'm talking about somebody that got a name that people know and they know his record and all of that stuff, that ain't got no skeletons for the Republicans to pull up and run on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's clean.
Well, the Democrats are the reason why third party has never had any.
I understand that. But my point is, answering your question is, I think that everybody pretty much is sick of the Republicans and the Democrats. I think an independent would bring some fresh blood in, some fresh ideas.
I think it would be difficult. But what I will say is about the black men becoming leaning more right. And I said this on the To Be Fair show last week.
If you come from left, you definitely leaning more right.
Yeah, I think that like we're naturally. So that's not hard to do. This is the crazy thing, is that I think the black community is naturally conservative. Even if you look at before, like when we were more into the church house and like doing those that, like we were more conservative. Just because the religious walk is a more conservative walk than it is, you know what I mean, this liberal walk where you got, you know what I mean, the QINZLG, you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. They got that, you know what I mean. I think that like the Dems they went way too, it's like radical. And so like a lot of guys, men, we're looking at and then also the whole gender war thing, quote unquote, like we know that our women are leaning very, very far left. Our women will accept any fucking thing at this point. And I ain't talking about like relationship. I'm talking about just like they think that anybody should be able to do anything. Yeah. There's really no constraints on like, I'm talking about for the most part, they believe that like everybody could do anything and there shouldn't be any. They believe in all of the shit. Yeah. And very accepting of any ideas.
Yeah, and the Democrats is messing up because that's what they run on. That's what they run on. And the fact of the matter is that there's no fucking way that you're supposed to let somebody come into this country and get more benefits than the people that live here. And that's what the Democrats are doing. That are citizens. Yes.
Yeah.
They giving people that come in illegally. Trump gonna stop that too. You're not gonna be able to come in and be waiting to get the trial or court or whatever and get all these benefits. You're not gonna be able to do it. And I applaud that. I don't. Trump do some things that make sense, and that I like, and that's one of them. Yeah, he finna stop that. You're not coming over here getting food stamps and all of this shit, and you here illegally filling out. As long as you fill out the paperwork, you qualify. No, he finna stop that shit.
Yeah, that's it. I ain't never too much agree. And then it's funny because you kind of led us into something else that I kind of did want to touch on, was like the immigration, how you feel about the ICE raids and like them showing up at the jobs and all that. Well, he's kind of, he's pulling back a little bit now.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about the farmers and the hospitality industry and all that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the protest and, you know what I mean?
How the fuck is you gonna protest and riot because they're arresting your ass because you did something illegal? How the fuck you do that? You protesting and rioting, and the Democrats supporting you all the way.
Yes.
That's why their ass ain't gonna get nobody in the White House.
Fucking up.
They supporting them all the way.
How the fuck
can you come over here illegally, riot and protest because you're getting arrested?
I feel that it's crazy that like you're going to use the flag, the Mexican flag, to protest you staying here.
in America.
Yeah, like that shit is mind-boggling to me. And I think that, like, at the end of the day, bro, if I was to break the law and they gon', you know what I mean? They gonna come and get my motherfucking
coming to get your ass.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
And then what killed me was because before they started arresting their ass, wasn't no Mexicans hollering about where the black people at? Where the black people at? Now they talking about where the black. We got our smart ass at home.
Hey,
well, we supposed to be at.
I got some shit to go with that. We gonna start with Obama, right? So a lot of people don't know that Obama goddamn deported more motherfuckers than anybody.
But he did it in a respectful
way. No. What he did was he just talked about it differently. See, where Trump fucking up is, it's just the way that it's just his dialect. No. It's not necessarily respectful. You just say a thing and it feels better coming when you're saying it, but the actual implementation, he told them motherfuckers, you're gonna learn English.
Okay.
You're gonna learn English, about
Sound like to me is fair.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything wrong. I just feel like the uproar that we're seeing, and I understand it as black people, we have empathy for struggle because we know the struggle. So we're naturally gonna have that empathy.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that, like, people,
but these same motherfuckers will call you a nigga.
Hey, you ain't
the same motherfuckers will call you.
We're gonna listen to Obama, and then we're gonna go into some of that stuff, some of the good stuff, how they really feel.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem, and the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing.
And I had some more. That was the one I thought it was. But yeah, what do you think about that? Like, as we sit here and people are like coming down hard on what Trump is doing, which at the end of the day, I don't think Obama did it in a way. They wasn't like showing up at jobs and shit, at least to my knowledge. I don't know.
But
he did get 3-point-something million motherfuckers out of here.
He did it in a respectful way because people didn't get in the uproar. Not people in the uproar. This is because of Trump's delivery.
But is it also because of it just being Trump too?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's because of his delivery.
Okay.
And it's because of the raids. You know, how they just...
You don't remember, there was a time during Obama's presidency where they were talking about putting them in like the little camps and all that shit. That was going on too. You don't remember the video footage of them being in those like cage joints and all that shit?
Yeah, but the thing about it was it didn't put people in an uproar because of his delivery. The same thing I keep saying.
No, that's what I said.
Trump is cutthroat. Trump,
he ain't articulating it in a way.
He gonna tell you, he gonna tell you what he gonna do. He ain't asking you if you like it or not.
He ain't talking about how comprehensive and shit it is.
He don't give a damn if you feel like. But you know what though? I don't feel sorry for him, and I don't have anything against Spanish people. I really do not. I think for me to sit there and hate on another people for their being impoverished and all of that kind of stuff, and knowing what our people went through would be a slap in the face.
The natural empathy.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, they wasn't calling on us when they was doing fine over here, and wasn't nobody fucking with us.
You mean
they wasn't?
They now that's facts. And see the thing, and something too I wanted to say about if with the way this thing's going, of course he's doing what he's doing for hospitality and farmers. the construction industry is an industry that
it's
because
at a standstill right now. It's crushing their ass.
And the crazy thing is to think about is that, like, you know, black men were the backbone of the construction industry here.
Exactly.
And
that's how they got away with it, because they said they was taking black jobs.
Say it again.
The Spanish people were.
But that was before Trump. Like,
no.
We left the construction industry before.
I understand that, but the Spanish people came into the construction industry because black people left because they wouldn't pay us.
Right.
They paid them more than they was paying us to do the same job, and I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. They paid them more to do the same freaking job than they pay us. And now, like equipment operator and stuff like that, they'll put a Spanish person on there, and you can have experience. And they'll train him to do the job before they give it to you. I done saw it with my own eyes, so you can't tell me nothing about that.
Yeah, I can't debate it because I haven't seen it myself.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I done back when I worked for, what the name of that company? I ain't gonna say their name but anyway, I worked for this construction company. I had experience operating heavy equipment. They took me off the heavy equipment and gave me a shovel, and gave a Spanish guy,
gave you a shovel.
Yes. and it gave, this been some years ago.
I know what that shovel hit for.
Gave me a shovel. I mean, the machine really did all the work.
Yeah.
You just had a little bit of stuff to clear out with the shovel. But the point was, they let him get up on there and train from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
To learn how to do the job, and put me in a ditch when I already knew how to do the job.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So this happens all the time. And they pay him more than they pay me. He ain't even got no experience. He's sitting in the machine with air conditioning, heat, all that shit. We down there in the damn hole with shovels.
Yeah, that's tough. I couldn't imagine that.
Yes.
Having a shovel as like one of my main utensils to utilize while I'm at work. That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at this. I got another one for you. Let's see what you think. And you've actually said this to me.
And let me say this part to close out, before you close out. The motherfuckers voted for this.
Oh yeah, I got them.
They voted for this.
Oh, as a matter of fact,
they voted for it. So why the fuck I'm gonna feel sorry for somebody that voted for this shit? They voted for it. They thought he was joking. They voted for it. So I don't feel sorry for you. You voted for the shit. What you want me to cry for? You want me to goddamn get a napkin and catch your tears? I ain't got nothing for you. You voted for the shit.
Your boys up there during the when Trump was running, they was up there talking about how they was with him tough. They had a song and everything they was playing.
Yeah, they ain't playing that motherfucker now, bitch. I bet you they ain't playing that motherfucker now. They kumbaya and now, goddamn.
If I can't find
it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll just start back here. And I got some funny ones too. This one's particular that you gonna love.
Goddamn kumbaya
is extremely racist. So we have what are like Guatemalans, even to its own Mexicans. So you got to remember, Mexico was dominated by Spaniards. The only reason I look the way I look is because I'm 65% Spaniard.
Yeah.
Mexicans, like real Mexicans, or which is known as Mexica, not Mexico, Mexica, are 5'4", super dark with big noses and the heads pushed back. Aztecs and Mayans,
like Indians,
Yes. Well, we're natives, right? Yeah. So we're blended. We're natives, right? So we're blended. So the reality is, in Mexico till this day, if you are not light complected, somewhat tall, you're frowned upon to this day. And by the way, they're very open about it. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like it's a hidden.
Yeah.
You're short and you're dark, and we don't like you. So the fact that it's so funny to me that Mexicans cry racism when they practice more racism in Mexico than America practices on anybody else.
I told you that. I done been to Mexico, I don't know how many times. My tour guide, on the last time I went to Mexico, my tour guide asked us, did we want to go see the real Mexico or did we want to go see the tourist Mexico? You know what I said. I want to see the real shit. Bruh. Black people, they live in the black Mexicans, and they be related to the light-skinned ones. They be, sometimes the mama, she explained this to me. Sometimes the mother and the father will have 3 or 4 kids. The light ones get treated differently, and they get to go somewhere else. The dark-skinned ones, they'll just disown their motherfucking ass. Disown their motherfucking ass. But hold up, though. When you go over there, not on the tourists, but where the real people live. When you go, the black people, where they live at, motherfucker look like it was hit, like it was Beirut. When I'm, bro, I'm talking about Sugar Creek ain't got shit. I'm talking about back in the, I'm talking about back in the goddamn, where motherfucking police wouldn't come to your house if you called them up. Back then, Sugar Creek ain't got shit on the way they live. Them prostitutes and all that shit, they ain't got shit on the way them black. I've seen this with my own eyes. And then you go to where the light-skinned Mexicans live. I mean, they not rich over there, but they live in these motherfuckers. Bruh, when I tell you OleHead, trash every motherfucking where, everything towed down, motherfucker. Goddamn 18 people in one little ass shack. Bruh. And they racist than a motherfucker. Racist than a motherfucker. Just like that white woman over here. She was head of some organization. Called it because the man had done adopted some kids, and some of them was dark skinned or black kids or whatever, and they was calling them monkeys and all kind of shit. And they called it, and they saw the email or the text or whatever it was. They saw it, and then all they did was the Democrats got behind them, let them apologize and shit, and the bitch probably still where she at. But her ass need to be shipped back to fucking Mexico.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that shit over here back. Even, bro, I seen the video the other day. Black man was in the grocery store. It was Mexicans in there. They didn't know the brother could speak Spanish. He cussed that motherfucking ass out and told him, see, everybody don't everybody not know how to speak your language or understand it. And he cussed their ass out. He said, you need to watch what the fuck you're saying. And then they were, oh no, we wasn't talking. He said, and then he started speaking in Spanish to their ass. He started speaking in Spanish to their ass and told them what they said. And then she was, well, we didn't mean nothing by it, and this, and the earth. And he cussed their motherfucking ass out up in there. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's why I'm telling, I've experienced that on jobs too. Racism from Spanish people. And see, I don't know how to speak Spanish, but I know some of their words because I work around them. Yeah. I work around them, so I know some of their words. So when they say certain words, I know what they're saying. I don't know the totality of the sentence, but I know they talking about black people. They talking about me or one of the other black guys out there. I know that much. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing nice. So I don't feel sorry for their motherfucking ass. Trump, get their ass out of here. Get their motherfucking ass out of here. Come over here right. Yeah, that's and I'm glad it ain't no black people out there picketing with their motherfucking ass. And if your ass black, you ain't got no business out there with their ass. Because they racist as fuck.
They go another one.
Won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Fucked up, bro. They're fucked up, bro.
So when my grandma moved to the city, and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes. And she looked like Felipe, dark, short. And that she thought she was better, fool. Like, fool, I swear to God, for my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved my niece. Like, an older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Yeah. Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Fucked up, bro. They're fucked up,
So when my grandma moved.
I want to not throw that part in there. It's some good Spanish people out here. It's definitely some good ones out here. But for the ones that's an asshole, like
They ain't got a name.
What's his damn name? What is his fucking name? Adam. Now, how the fuck I can't forget Adam? Adam. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I believe that motherfucker racist. I believe he racist. I don't believe his son is. And his son may be. I don't know. But Adam do shit that either he racist or he's jealous because I ain't never did nothing to him. I ain't never did nothing to him. I always try to be nice. Either he a racist or he's jealous. And jealous of what? I don't know. I don't know.
You know something that I think is that I think America did a wonderful job of doing is like alienating dark skin and making everybody look at us a certain way. They did a wonderful job of doing it because you can look at across like we talk about in Mexico where you got the light skin and the dark skin.
Yeah.
And it's like dark skin, you got motherfuckers in different countries in Africa bleaching their skin because they want to be lighter. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of mind-boggling to think that like how bad it is, you know what I mean, looked upon just to be motherfucking dark. That shit is like it's really crazy. It's really crazy to think that like a motherfucker could be born away and motherfucker just demonized just straight off the rip that you are like lesser than because of, you know what I mean?
That shit is here too, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Black people like that.
Bro, but I mean, we're growing. The good thing is that we're growing out of it. Because I remember when I was younger, being dark skinned, nobody was attracted to dark skinned people, bro. Nobody was, bro. Light skinned girl with the straight hair, that shit was, you know what I mean? The red bone thing, it still exists, but it was like at mass when I was growing up, bro. It was at mass. And now it's like, nah, nigga, I see all the time people saying they want to have some dark skinned, beautiful babies.
Yeah.
Like some
but
beautiful chocolate babies.
I was high yellow when I was little. But over the years of roofing, 25 years ago, every summer I'd get dark as shit because we worked on top of the roof all day, sun up, sun down, 7 days a week unless it rained. And in the summer, I would be dark. And then by the time spring come back around, I would be light all over again. And then all of a sudden, as I got older, it changed. Every year, I darken the way I would normally darken, but when wintertime come through and come back to spring again, I didn't lighten up as much. You know what I mean? I didn't get as light as I, was the year before. And I started getting more pigment. I was so damn glad to get, because I was that little red nigga. I'm telling you, I was that little red motherfucker. I done been called a red motherfucker so many times.
Yeah, I'm glad I had to wear that.
Yeah,
I got the pretty boy shit growing up, but I didn't get the look. I wasn't red like that.
I was red. I was red. And then I had straight hair too. Curly straight hair. Man, tell you, boy. They used to give me hell. But the girl used to love. They used to love to play in my hair and stuff. Mama and grandma used to say how they had the grandma cut my hair off because the girls couldn't get nothing done because they was always playing in my head. And so it was a mess. I had that Indian hair, that straight.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, because your granddad is full-blooded Indian. Yes, he is. Yeah, it's pictures of him. You can see him. Your granddad is full-blooded. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to harp too much. Like I say, there's some great, and there's something that we're seeing too is that with black culture or just really black entertainers being as popular as they are.
Granddad, I'm sorry.
Yes, I already knew what you were talking about. Black entertainers becoming as popular, and you know what I mean, the music and all that stuff being the number one genre of music. You can see that like the younger generation, the younger generation of Mexicans or Hispanic or Latino, like they actually gravitate towards us. So like I was looking earlier today, I seen a group of on my street, you know what I mean, Mexicans and black dudes out there just chopping it up, doing you know what I mean, doing whatever. So shit will get better as the generations continue to come, because like the old way of doing things and the way of viewing people is just like there's a lot of bad, you know what I mean, just like fucking. Even when we talk about like the a lot of people from different African countries, they come here and be like the black folk are this, black folk are that. You know what I mean? They look at everybody look at us the same way, what it boiled down to. You know what I mean? Everybody look at us the same way, but it's getting better with the younger generations because of the way the melting pot is like something like Charlotte, like it's a melting pot. So like we're it's so diverse.
Republicans is talking bad about that too. They don't like that shit.
Like what?
That Charlotte being such a melting pot. They talk about that shit.
Oh, well,
they come with they city values and all this shit. They was talking.
Oh no,
shit.
what I will say is that it's changed a lot. The city sped up.
Yeah,
it's so much faster than it was back when I was younger. And I know when you were younger, it had to be completely different. But let's move on. I think this one's gonna be funny. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one for sure. Let me see. Bum, and bum.
I love when people think that I'm stupid, because tell me why I'm at the mechanic shop and he talking about I need a Cadillac converter, but I drive a Jeep. Make it make sense. Think I'm stupid. Ladies, when y'all going down to the mechanic shop, take somebody with y'all. Your brother, your uncle, your daddy, your boyfriend, somebody. Stop going to these mechanic shops by yourselves, because they know we don't know anything about cars. So they're trying to give us any type of services we don't even need. Outrageous prices. Because I don't understand. Make it make sense. A Cadillac converter. I don't even have a Cadillac. I love when people think that I'm stupid, because tell me why I'm
It's not a Cadillac converter. It's a catalytic converter.
Right. Hey, she's super smart.
She said Cadillac converter.
And the funny part was that she was dead the fuck serious. Put niggas up.
Y'all damn sure need to take a man with you. But you can't take any man, because that's a lot. It ain't like my day.
No, that's
most men in my day knew a little something about cars. Everybody wasn't mechanics, but they knew a little something. Nowadays, these YNs, they don't know shit about.
Bro, you keep on with the YN shit, nigga. You know YN is not my generation. This is like young boys. They like YNs.
Them motherfuckers
like,
too. They worse.
Oh
than
no,
y'all.
they damn sure.
They worse than y'all.
They damn sure. Fucking thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely they have no idea.
No
what
fucking
the fuck.
idea. No.
I know you go like this one, so we go move. Let's look at this one. You go like this one.
Yeah, you better get you a catalytic converter for your Ford.
I got a catalytic converter.
Get you a Cadillac converter for your Ford.
Hey, she was dead the fuck.
Dead ass.
A divorce because when I woke up, it was my birthday. My wife didn't know it was my birthday. My son didn't know it was my birthday. I went to work. My co-workers didn't know it was my birthday. And my manager called me in and said, Mario. I said, I get in there and she said, happy birthday. I said, oh, thanks. Then she said, you want to get some lunch? And I was like, okay. And then she was like, you want to go back to my place? And I was like, all right. So I went back to her place and she was like, let me step in my room. I'll be right back. She got back 5 minutes later and my kids, my co-workers, my wife was all there to say happy birthday with a cake, and I was on the couch butt naked. So the reason why I'm getting a divorce because
oh, he said the reason he getting a divorce.
Yeah.
God damn, he was on the couch butt naked. He thought, ooh, you.
That shit was hilarious to me.
Nah, bro, you couldn't have got me with that one. I would have thought, but yeah, she'd have had to come out of that room in something, you know what I mean, that said this is the drop off. You know what I mean? If I was gonna partake, but I wouldn't have just assumed that that's what she was doing. Yeah, you was in there, but yeah, you getting a divorce. She ain't got no choice. She ain't got no choice. The whole world know. Your co-workers, your boss, and your kids and your wife, all of them saw you naked.
Yeah.
Hey, they got something for you out there, bro. Hey, I feel sorry for you, dog. You know what I mean? The play looked like it was coming together. I ain't saying it went. I wouldn't have went that far with it though. You braver than me. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not gonna make that assumption. You know what I mean? But he braver than me. But hey, bro, I feel for you. I got empathy for you. But you finna get a divorce.
Knock it on that right now.
Yeah, the shit out of it. Yeah. The next person that goddamn tell you to come home with them, you gonna goddamn think about it first. Telling you not.
I had somebody that take me on a date, right? And I was telling him, well, instead of taking me on a date, the same money that you gonna use towards the date, you can help me buy my part for my car.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
My car is still drivable, but I need like a crankshaft or a camshaft, and it's like $200.
The fuck that got to do with me?
I was like, I'll come up with the rest, you know, like you ain't gotta give me the whole thing. So I had somebody that take me on a date, right? And I was telling him, well, instead of taking me on a date, the same money that you gonna use.
What you think, OleHead? What you got on the camshaft or the whatever it was that she needed?
She said $200. Okay, so where you thought I was taking you to? That's what I'm saying. Evidently, this is the first date.
Right.
That's the first date. Okay.
You gonna put something down?
We don't even know if we gonna like each other yet. And you want me. So what? You gonna take me home and cook dinner for me afterwards? I'm getting free dinner. I'm just saying, it gotta be more to it than that, bro. How you just gonna think I'm gonna give you pretty much half on your $200 shaft, and I ain't getting nothing out of it? Now you go out with a woman, you know what I'm saying? Well, it depends on what type of woman you're going out with. You know, these days and times, it's easy to spend a blade.
What you think is a reasonable amount on like a first date? Would you spend
a reasonable amount on the first date?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. On the first date, I'm the kind of person that if it's the first date, if this is where you eat at, this is what you feed yourself, then if the meal end up costing me $100, so be it. But on the flip side of that is, if the conversation is not what it should be while we're there, I ain't saying you got to go home and fuck me. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if that conversation, if we ain't found somewhere to bond in the conversation or whatever, that'd be your last one. You wouldn't get another one. You know what I'm saying? The $100, that's fine. These days and times, $100, yeah, just spend that on the first date. But like I said, if we ain't bonded somewhere during that date, it won't be a nothing. You want to go for a walk in the park and try it again, that's fine. But you ain't getting no more $100 dinners though.
Yeah, no, I think that like shit. And Q, shout out to Q. He pulled up. He said, depending on the spot, it's probably gonna be about $75 to $150. Yeah. I don't think like, $75 to $150. I mean that's fine. You know what I mean? That ain't like
for a first date. Number one, when you look at a
I
first
already
date,
kind of, for me, I already done had a little bit of a conversation with you to figure out whether I'm even willing to go on a first date with you or not.
Yeah.
So once that's done, I don't mind spending the $75 to $150.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I already kind of feel like, okay, I can fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll see a little bit
still,
more. But
even though it's $75 to $150, like I said, if it's somewhere that you normally eat or frequently eat there yourself, you know what I mean? Whether you call it in or whatever, however you do it, then that's what you eat. Okay, I'm cool with that. But if you want a $150 meal first date, and this is somewhere you don't eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this, then now you're trying to get off.
I'd say also, I'm not going, if it is $150, it's because I chose to take you there. It ain't because you told me that this is where you want to go type shit. You know what I mean? Because you done fucked around and I ain't, well, shit, if I was in, I wouldn't if I was dating in today's time, I would. If I was talking to Shorty and she was talking about going somewhere, I would Google it and see what they plates cost. I ain't never been that kind of guy, but like if it was the case, like in today's time, on the first, yeah, you might well Google it and see what the fuck she trying to get you to be taking her to, because you know what I mean. It could make sense, but then it very well could not make sense.
No, see, this is the thing with me. See, I'm just a different type nigga. With me, if you take me to somewhere where the meals, and I don't know about this place and I ain't never been, I'm not Googling the goddamn thing. But you tell me to take you there, that's where you want to go. And it's not somewhere you frequently eat and whatever, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know the place. When we go in there, you tell me, this and the third, yada, yada. Okay. And your meal is like $100 by itself.
Your face.
When they come to the table, I'm gonna let you eat too. I'm gonna let you eat. But when they come to the table with the ticket, I'm gonna be like, buddy, this is separate.
Have you ever done that before?
No, because ain't nobody never did me like that.
That would be hilarious.
But I would say this is separate.
It's separate.
I'm on my ticket, and then you can give her ticket. Yeah.
I remember when I remember when I was single, and I guess I don't know where, I can't remember where I met the girl at. I met so it probably was like some dating app, some shit like that. And I had went on the date, and my thing was I wasn't even gonna eat nothing because I had just ate. You know what I mean? I guess she had hit me up, and it was like a last minute thing. Oh, I'm over here. You want to come pull up? Whatever. I pulled up over there, and I didn't eat nothing, and she expected for me to pay for her meal. The thing is, I did it. Mm-hmm. I ain't never talked to her again, though. I ain't never talked to her again. You know the funniest thing? Shit, I don't even remember. But I remember it being dark. Mm-hmm. I remember it being dark. My pocket was, it was dark. I whipped out the old reliable credit card. You know what I mean? Swiped the bitch. And then, you know the funniest thing? She ended up working at the damn bank.
Where you worked at?
Yeah.
You saw?
Yeah. Ignored the goddamn shit out of her motherfucking ass too.
She spoke.
No, honestly, I wasn't paying her ass no attention. I knew when she looked at me, I knew that she could, you know what I mean? She recognized me. I recognized her, but I ain't really pay her ass no attention. But yeah, that was like, why the fuck you literally just told me to come here to pay for your meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I did it though. I'm I don't know. I kind of got that, you know what I mean? Like we say, I'm also the type of guy, I'm looking to figure out how I can help. You know what I mean? Like we was talking about the meme earlier. Like I ain't the type of dude. Honestly, I don't really look at, well, I know I want a plate. I want a plate. You know what I mean? I want you to feel comfortable making plates, because this is something that should happen, you know what I mean, on the regular. But as far as what you can contribute to my life, like, I mean, I ain't really on that type of time. I actually feel good about helping. You know what I mean? I feel good to be able to be in a situation to help you and help, you know what I mean, help you move along and be able to lead, and you know what I mean? I fuck with that type of stuff. So
I feel good about those things too. But I also feel like that the contribution is healthy.
Well, for sure. Well, but you ain't deciding who you would date or
no,
you would married now, but I'm saying in any instance, like you wouldn't be deciding who you would date based on how they can contribite to your life.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. I ain't on that type of time either.
Yeah.
And before
you ain't got, I ain't got no minimum salary that you have to make for me to talk to you. I ain't got that.
Yeah.
I ain't got that. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And before we're gonna close it out today, talking about Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow's Father's Day.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna say Happy Father's Day because it's Father's Day tomorrow, and I will see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know something? I actually been getting a different type of energy this year specifically that it stands out to me. I was being told Happy Father's Day on Friday. Mm-hmm. And it felt good, right? It felt good to like be acknowledged, you know what I mean? Even though I think oftentimes what we do, we brush off acknowledgement very easy. As men, we brush off acknowledgement very, very easy.
And I'm bad at it too.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
That's like what, on your birthday, you always say you don't want nothing. You know what I mean? On anything, on any day that's supposed to be about you, you always say you don't want a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we naturally just brush off people wanting to celebrate us. But I definitely appreciated it. Something else that I noticed too is that, because like me, I took Nana out. We went, went to the grocery store. Then we went and ate, sat down and ate. She fucked with Bojangles. I always like, I'm at a point now where I like to ask her, like, what, like comparing things, which one do you like the best? Mm-hmm. And so like I asked her, dude, which one you like? You like Chipotle better or Bojangles? Bojangles, god damn it. You know what I mean? She was on the Happy Meals and shit. And then I asked her, like, do you like the Happy Meal better or Bojangles? You know what I mean? She fucked with that Supreme Combo, tough. Period. Tough.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Something that I realized too, as I was like getting these Happy Father's Days, is that the women that are telling me this automatically assume that I got my daughter for the weekend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like you got it for Father's Day, and it's like, I mean, I clearly got a ring on. Y'all ain't paying attention to that, but it's kind of fucked up. The thing that like the assumption is that like niggas that got their kids with them, it's automatic that he just got them for the weekend.
Well, no, it ain't that. It's because it's Father's Day weekend. Next weekend, you won't get that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but no. At the end of the day, Father's Day weekend does play a part in it. So you would assume that, you got your kids because it's Father's Day weekend. Mm-hmm. But it's still like, damn, like enough of us ain't in the house to where enough of us aren't in the house as a family.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where the assumption would be that you just with your kids. You know what I mean? That you just, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You assume that I just got my kids for the weekend. Mm-hmm. And that was something else that stood out to me. And it was like crazy to sit and just like kind of internalize that. It's like, damn, like, I mean, I do know for a lot of the, you know what I mean? A lot of the situation is that a nigga's on child support and the nigga is getting the kids on the weekend, and you know what I mean? But it just for them to like assume that it just kind of, it was something that was interesting, and it I ain't gonna say it didn't sit well with me. It was just something that kind of like, you know what I mean, made me think about. I was like, damn, everybody just assume you got your kids for the weekend because your family separated. Yeah. And I mean, based on the statistics, that's probably more than, you know what I mean, more than likely that's what you're doing. And it was just something that dawned on me. It was just kind of made me feel kind of weird. You know what I mean? But what do you think about Father's Day? And I have a little bit more of another story. What do you think about like Father's Day? How does it make you feel like to be celebrated on this day for being a father?
I don't just being honest. It sounds good, and I appreciate when my kids want to do something. Like my daughter, she invited me up for Father's Day. I appreciate that, but I'm grateful because I don't feel like that. If in my eyes, I don't feel like that. The definition that I would use for a good father that deserves to be, treated or pampered or whatever on Father's Day, I don't fit the bill. For me, I don't. I appreciate what my baby doing for me for Father's Day. She done called me twice to make sure that I'm gonna be there. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be there, Jasmine. I'm gonna be there. But yeah, she done called me twice to make sure, yesterday and today, to make sure I'm gonna be there. So I'm gonna be there. But yeah, I don't feel like that. I feel like it's nice to get something, you know what I mean? But if I didn't get nothing, it wouldn't bother me. You know what I mean? It really wouldn't bother me.
It's less the gift than it is the acknowledgement.
And see, for me, the acknowledgement is not warranted. For me. For me. Because I feel like I did a very poor job.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, and I kind of figured that would be your stance on it. What I'll say is, for me, I want to celebrate you. I'm very appreciative. Even though, like, I can sit here and we can talk about all of the stories of back in the day, and we can talk about all of that shit. But in reality, even though, you know what I mean, we didn't have conversations when I was younger, when they started, I've developed more in this time period than I had in any other time period in my life as a man. You know what I mean? As a man, like getting into like credit, the stock market and mortgages, and you know what I mean? That was nobody outside. Like, of course, like my brother, you know what I mean? I got an older brother, he's 4 years older than me. And you know what I mean, there was a lot of things I seen him do and be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that shit because I seen how that turned out. Okay, now that makes sense. I'm gonna do that. That's how I ended up in the military. You know what I mean? Certain things, those I made some big steps based on really just you and Bob. You know what I mean? So like Father's Day, I'm definitely gonna celebrate Bob, but I'm definitely gonna celebrate you as my father because, like, bro, I learned so much. And even just like you don't understand it, like I've learned a lot about parenting based on our relationship. Even though our relationship start to really come together a little bit later or later in my life, I was still able to learn so much. And that's why like I preach forgive your father. Forgive your parents in general, but generally what you'll see is that the father is the one that's going to be beat down and the story will be negative, because the thing is there's always two sides to a story. And even if he fucked up when he was, you know what I mean, when he was fucking up, he still can contribute something to your life because he has that level of wisdom. Those things that you haven't done, those steps you haven't taken, he can help propel you in that direction. And that's what you've helped do. And so like to me, it's weird because like this is the first Father's Day where I feel, you know what I mean? Like instead of it just being like a thing, like, oh yeah, I'm a father, you should say it, you should celebrate me, because it dawned on me this time, like, fuck. Like I was with Nana earlier, like just being around my kids, like, bro, like literally, this baby came out of my ball sack, and my wife birthed this thing that is like the best gift I've ever gotten. You know what I mean? Like to sit there and just listen to her talk and like listen to, it's just crazy, bro. It like fucked me up.
And it's because you was a grown man when it happened. And the thing with me is I didn't get to experience that because I was a kid when it happened. And so that's a lesson in itself, is that when we wait later in life, we get to enjoy our children. But when like me now, all I can do is enjoy my grandchildren. And that's why I keep bringing it up to you.
Well, I mean, I don't believe that either, because like you still enjoy our relationship, and you still enjoy a relationship with Jasmine.
But I'm talking about this though.
Oh no, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's different.
It's different. I'm talking about this. You know, I remember being proud when you was crawling around and stuff like that. I remember that. But it wasn't to the level of what you're talking about. And I know it could have been if I'd have been in the right state at the time that you were born. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you see how hard I tried with Julian? You see everything I went through with Julian? It was because I wanted that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you look at that, how hard I tried with him. And if I was you, I would feel some type way.
Oh, I did earlier. Yeah, I did when I was young.
And I understand it, but it was because I was a grown man. You see what I'm saying? And when you was born, I was a child. I was a grown man when he was born. That's why I yearned for that. That's why I tried for so hard for so many years. I tried so hard went to court more times than I got hands on my fingers.
I was there, carried the witness.
You know what I mean?
I know you.
I fought for him. So that was me trying to be a part of that. So I never got that. You know what I mean? But that's why I look at you and I'm proud to say that I'm your father, and I'm proud to look. I can see the joy in your eyes and in your face when you talk about your children. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to experience that. And I still got robbed. You know what I mean? I still got robbed. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's why I love children. It's because I yearn for that emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I never had. I got 5 kids and they never had that. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to have it with him because I was grown and I understood, but I wasn't allowed to because but I fought. So no matter where he at, whenever we see each other again or whatever the case may be, one thing he can't look in my face and say, he can say I wasn't there, but he can't say I didn't fight to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He can't say that because I stayed in court trying to get him. So you was through the you was there for some of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I say that I understand if you felt some type way because you saw how hard I tried. You see what I'm saying? So that's something ain't nobody got to tell you. You was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you also was there when I was a boy, and you see how I was with you. And then you look at how I am with him, and then it's understandable for you to feel away. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll kind of see that, just like even even you go above, like with my older brother and sister, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They felt the way about how they perceived our relationship, you know what I mean? It's it'll always kind of be that thing when you talk about like when families are separated and then you have another family, and those type of things tend to be the norm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, back to it, man. I definitely want to celebrate you tomorrow. You know what I mean? We may not end up doing our thing tomorrow because it's gonna be more about, you know what I mean, them doing, we kind of we connect in a different way. We can go and do something that'll be like some shit that we really fuck with, and we'll do, you know what I mean, our thing. But like, yeah, man, Father's Day, like I said, this is my first year of it really like settling in. And it's like, fuck, bro. Like I'm raising a little person, bro, and she's a great person. You know what I mean? And it's like I understand there, like, where's the pride comes in when your children, how people say like your children are a reflection of you. And it's like, I took like I say, our spots Bojangles. We in Bojangles, and you could hear the little kids screaming and shit, you know what I mean? And her thing is like, that ain't how you supposed to be. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, did I do that?
That's my baby, yeah.
Did I do that? It's like, damn, I did though. It's like, yeah, nah. So like the molding that y'all that as parents as we get to do is like, I think that a lot of times we don't internalize it all the way. It's like, no, like literally that is a reflection of what you do.
And it's also a reflection of the environment that they're brought up in.
For sure.
Because it's when they're born into a peaceful environment, when they are when they are very, very young and they come up in that peace and that communication and all of that, you see it in the kids. That's why them kids that was in Bojangles or whatever, chaos. Chaos. That's what they were born into. That's what, when they was in the womb, that's what their mother was dealing with.
And what I will say too, and we're gonna have this conversation on the show tomorrow, it doesn't have to do with finance.
No.
Like no. The thing is that like the molding is not about how much, literally, bro, it's not about how much you can spend.
Nope.
On the paper, it's about how much time you put into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'll leave that there. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. But like, it set in my heart, like people like,
I done met some wonderful people that was poor as fuck, had holes in their floors and their house and shit. I grew up, some people, they lived down the street about 2-3 blocks down the street from
in Mississippi.
No, here in Charlotte.
Okay.
And 2-3 blocks, they had goddamn rats at their house like this. I'm talking about, I ain't never them up. They look like dogs, cats at the very least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Big as fuck. But some good people came out of that house.
One of my closest homies, you know who I'm talking about. I've been knowing this nigga since fucking. I've been knowing probably about over 15 years now. His whole family, wonderful human beings, and was, you know what I mean? We was fucked up, and we had more than they had, and they're just great fucking people. It's not about the amount of money that you make. It's not, you know what I mean? It just doesn't, that ain't the way the shit works. That ain't the way the shit works.
Exactly.
You mean
Exactly.
you can't you I mean I understand why you correlated is because they've correlated it the whole time. And I understand like, okay, certain we're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, tap into us. We're on the 2B Fair show tomorrow we'll probably be a little bit late tomorrow.
I want to say one last thing on that subject. Poverty, not extreme poverty, but poverty builds character. It builds character.
Having to figure it out.
Because you don't take things for granted.
For sure.
You don't take things for granted. And you appreciate the things that you get. 100%. And that's what builds the character.
100%. And that was another thing where I didn't want my kids to go up in the house that I could get. You know what I mean? At this point, you know what I mean. Even though that wasn't the reason why I bought. You understand?
I understand.
You know what I mean? I invested in a different way because I was thinking like long term. But anyways, I didn't want to just have a house where it just everything was perfect, and you just be born into this scenario where it's just like fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want you to be able to see like this. Okay, over time, this is getting better.
Yeah.
I want to renovate the motherfucker so you can see. Oh shit, you put the work in, and then you can create beauty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that's important.
And that gives them a different lens.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that this is right. Everybody would do that, do it differently. I'm not saying this is right. This is just the way that I've come up with because just how my mind works. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate the struggle. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because it did build character. Even though I started making some bad decisions, now at the end of the day, if I had to make those decisions when I was younger, it would have been easier for me to make them now.
Exactly.
I learned the thing. You know what I mean? And experienced the learning curve. So, but anyway,
experience is a good life lesson.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And hey, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Hold on, I want to get to Unc. He said something here. He said, I just figured out what my greatest Father's Day gift I ever had is that I actually did is that I asked you did for my child the day before Father's Day because they give you one day, but every day is yours to give. Okay, Unc, I ain't quite follow you. But let's see what he said on this next one here. Happy Father's Day to you, grown ass men who understand how grown ass men need to perceive. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Unc, and happy Father's Day out there to all of the fathers, man. Enjoy your day. You know what I mean? Even if you ain't able to, you know what I mean? I know the circumstances be different in every scenario. You know what I mean? What I would say is that, like, I mean, the only advice I can give you is be intentional.
Yeah.
And that was advice that was given to me. Be intentional and know that you did everything that you could do.
Yes.
Just know that at least you can rest in knowing that like I continuously did everything that I could do to be what I wanted to be, and understand that like this ain't the last Father's Day shit. You got another one next year, the year after that.
Bro, you can try it again.
That relationship.
This one might not have been the best one, but hey, next year could be better.
Yeah,
that relationship can be rekindled. You ain't going nowhere. You got a long time. Yeah. I ain't going nowhere either. I got a few years left myself.
It's the Black Album.
You know
it's almost over for you.
I got all this, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I still got a couple more albums. He keeps saying it's black. I think I got a couple left though. You
done already written 444. We about to press them up now. All right, man. Love you, man.
Love you, man.
All right, man. Tell your pops you love them tomorrow, man. Y'all be blessed. And we out, family.
That's it.